Hey friends, this is Rachel, the Waterfire Mama. This video is for anyone who has had the bottom drop out of their world. We're going to talk about some physical ways we can care for ourselves so that we can keep going when we're in crisis mode. Welcome back. I was 26 years old. My husband David and I lived outside of Dallas, Texas, where he was working in his first full-time ministry job, and I was working to start a private marriage and family therapy practice. It was December, and I was 17 weeks pregnant with our first baby. Because I was born with a congenital heart defect, my doctor sent me to get a level 2 sonogram just to make sure everything checked out okay. We were really excited to find out if we were expecting a son or a daughter. To our utter delight, the tech announced that we were going to have a boy. But moments later, our excitement turned to ashes as the maternal fetal specialist gently told us that the baby's heart was too big. That same day, we sat across a desk from a fetal cardiologist who told us that our baby didn't have a great chance of being born, and if he was, that he would need multiple open heart surgeries to survive. That fateful day set our feet on a path of medically fragile special needs, but it felt much more like our feet got swiped clean out from under us. The bottom dropped out of our world. Maybe your story is similar. Maybe you went to the doctor's appointment thinking things were perfectly great, and the words of a medical diagnosis changed your life forever. Or maybe you had suspicions that something wasn't quite right for a long time, and those suspicions led you to research and appointments and countless worries and doubts. But you can probably remember quite clearly that moment on your timeline when your trajectory changed dramatically, when the bottom dropped out of your world, when you knew that things would never be the same. Your head was spinning, you couldn't catch your breath, so many questions and nameless fears threatened to swallow you. Maybe you didn't know how you were going to get through the next moment, much less the next day. In the next few videos, I want to show you some strategies that can be your lifeline when you're facing crisis. Whether you're just beginning your journey as a high-impact caregiver or you've been traveling this road for a while. This video is going to focus on ways to care for yourself physically. Focusing on a few basic acts of physical self-care can be very grounding because it gives you a sense of control and autonomy when everything is blowing up around you. Giving your body the things that it needs also helps improve your mental and emotional state. First things first, breathe. Our bodies are designed to breathe in and breathe out all day, every day, so that our organs can benefit from that life-giving oxygen. But it can be really surprising how often, especially when we're under stress, that we take in less oxygen than we really need because we hold our breaths or don't breathe deeply enough. When we come under crisis, our sympathetic nervous system is triggered, and what starts to happen? Our heart beats faster, breathing comes quicker, blood pressure rises, senses sharpen, and our bodies tense up. Basically, the body is preparing itself for fight or flight. When you intentionally slow and deepen your breathing, you can counter that fight or flight response. You tell your body that it's okay to slow the heart down, to lower the blood pressure, to relax the muscles. You can start to calm down, feel better, and think more rationally as your body comes back to baseline. We'll talk a lot more about breath work in future videos, but for now, give box breathing a try. Simply inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold your breath again for 4. And do that 4 times. All of us can count to 4, and as long as you are living, you have your breath with you wherever you go. Second, hydrate. Our bodies need water to run efficiently, and being dehydrated can really affect our cognition and mood. In one study, researchers found that people who drank the least amount of water, less than 2 glasses per day, were significantly at higher risk for depression than those who drank 5 glasses or more per day. In addition, those with the greatest water intake had lower incidences of depression. Another study found that dehydration had negative effects on energy, self-esteem, short-term memory, and attention. Advice varies on how much water a person should get each day based on their age, body composition, and the climate where they live. But the minimum suggestion I found was 5 cups a day or 40 ounces. I aim for half my body weight in ounces of water, but I don't always get that goal. The good news is that coffee and other caffeinated beverages can be as hydrating as water. So go ahead and sip on that coffee or tea. Just try to switch to non-caffeinated beverages in the afternoon so it doesn't disrupt your sleep. Third, move. Exercise is a great way to lift your mood and help you cope with stress. High-intensity exercise has been shown to release endorphins, or hormones and neurotransmitters that help you feel better, give you more energy, and improve your sense of well-being. I get it though. When you're in crisis mode, it's really hard to prioritize your self-care in this way. Finding the time and the energy to go for a run or lift weights at the gym for an hour might be impossible. Don't let that stop you though from doing something small. Don't let your mood dictate what you do, because movement changes your mood. Even a 10-minute walk outside or a brief stretching session can help you reset mentally, lower your blood pressure, and improve your sleep. And that brings us to probably the most important way to care for yourself in a crisis: sleep. You've probably heard at least some of the major reasons we want to get enough sleep, so I don't need to list them all out here. But I know that for many of us high-impact caregivers who are in crisis mode, the hours that we have the opportunity to sleep may be really scarce to begin with. Then, when the lights turn off and our heads hit the pillow, the worries turn on, oftentimes louder and more vividly than during the day. So how do you shut down the hamster wheel of thoughts so that you can use those opportunities to actually get some much needed rest? First, avoid caffeine, nicotine, alcohol, and even drinking a lot of water before bed. Caffeine and nicotine are stimulants, so they can keep you awake at night and add to your racing thoughts. After drinking alcohol, you might find that you fall asleep faster, but it can cause you to wake up later in the night and lower your overall sleep quality. And after you finally fall asleep, who wants to get up to pee so you have to start the falling asleep process all over again? Second, try exporting your thoughts into a journal before lying down. It's normal for thoughts to start popping up out of nowhere when things get quiet. The schedule for tomorrow, what we need to ask the doctor or the teacher or the boss, or trying to find a solution for the problem you've been dealing with, are all going to keep you awake and disturb your sleep when you finally do fall asleep. Keep a journal by your bed so that you can write down your questions and the things you don't want to forget for tomorrow. I call this brain dumping. When you write things down like this, your brain doesn't feel like it has to hold on to that information anymore. It can release those thoughts and allow you to fall asleep. Lastly, take a few minutes to intentionally relax your muscles and practice the box breathing technique I mentioned earlier in the video. When those thoughts and worries crop up, the stress triggers a release of cortisol, which is going to send you into that fight or flight response and keep you awake. By relaxing your muscles and your breathing, you're telling your nervous system that things are okay, you're safe, and you can take a rest. Focusing on your breathing and intentionally blocking out other thoughts allows your brain to step off that hamster wheel and ease into sleep. Now, don't be worried if it takes a few or even several tries to get this to work for you. When you're in crisis, falling asleep can take practice. We'll talk more about getting better sleep in future videos, but for now, keep a lookout for my next video, which will go more into breathing practices to calm your anxious thoughts and how exactly to do them. Make sure you grab my free guide to taking care of yourself in crisis. The link for that is in the description. And of course, please hit that subscribe button so that you know when I drop new videos. Remember, fellow warriors, you probably don't feel like you have it all together. You may not even feel like you can take another step. But there is a God who goes before us and who is our rear guard. He's going to carry us through those tough days. He's got you, and I'm here to help. See you next time.